We go to the phone lines here at the In My Own Words hotline. We get my man on the show, the big homie, former Alabama defensive lineman, but he's also a high school regional area champion down there in Georgia. My man, Rudy Griffin. Coach Griff, what's going on, brother?
Man, what's up, brother?
Doing fantastic, man. Doing fantastic. Happy to have you in here. Rudy Griffin on the show, former Alabama defensive lineman, joining us right now on the In My Own Words hotline. So, Rudy, you and I spoke before this week, and I know a lot of people have talked about Pete Golding is the problem with Alabama. Get Pete Golding out of here. He's messing up the defense. He's messing up the standard. He's messing up the staple. But you and I talked, and you actually brought a very interesting point to the table that I don't think a lot of people have even considered, and that's looking at offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. How do you feel as though O'Brien may not be meshing with the defense, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I just go back, man. I know that's I know the one thing about Alabama, man, the standard, and that's a good thing, I guess, that the standard Alabama's built is perfection. And so the thing is that, everybody looks at Alabama and they measure everything on perfection. And, that's hard. That's a hard thing to keep up with. But, that's something that Alabama's built, something Nick Saban has built. And, but going on to Pete Golding, man, I think the easiest thing is a lot of folks looking at Pete Golding and just say, man, the defense. But honestly, I don't feel it's all solely on Pete Golding, honestly. And like I spoke with you before about it, man, I really feel like the offense ain't meshing well with the defense. I really don't, man. I mean that not saying that Bill O'Brien's not a good football coach. He's a dynamic football coach. I just think schematically it's not as wide open as it's been in the past, or having offensive creativity as it has in the past with the likes of Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, and Mike Locksley. I don't think it's as creative as it's been in the past.
We got Rudy Griffin here on the show, former Alabama defensive lineman Rudy Griffin here on In My Own Words, Touchdown Alabama Magazine on a Wednesday. So, Rudy, when you look at just now the defense here for Alabama, this is a group that you're in the bye week, the whole Crimson Tide team on a bye week. How important is this time right here where you're not playing anybody? You are preparing for other teams, but how important is this moment to kind of calm down, reassess, regroup, clean some stuff up, because you're getting ready for a second half push to try to win a national championship? How critical is this bye week?
Well, bye weeks are huge, man, are really, really huge. It's a few parts that's great about it. One is the obvious is that you get healthy guys, get injured guys healthy. The second one is you self-assess. In the coaching terms, we call it self-scout. I mean, you do a little bit of self-evaluation. You kind of break down the film, see what's hurt you, what have teams been successful, and you try to fix that. And then the third thing, you look at the stuff that's been working well for you, and you try to expound on some of the stuff that's been working well for you. So, I mean, I think the bye week couldn't have come at a better time. This is the perfect time to kind of self-evaluate, get those guys healthy, man, and just grow off the stuff that we've been doing well. So this is the perfect time.
If you're just tuning into the show, here we got my man Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, here on the show, and also Griffin being an area regional champion as a coach over there at Georgia, high school over there at Georgia. So, Rudy, now in terms of just the defense as a whole, can you see this group, or do you see this group getting things fixed up, getting things cleaned up, and ultimately, winning that national championship? Because right now, the number one school that people are talking about is Georgia. They're bringing up, look at Georgia's defense. Look at what Kirby Smart's doing. Look at what Georgia's offense is doing. Like, Georgia has become the biggest part of the conversation here in college football.
Yeah.
And that holds some good things to it, because Alabama is normally a team that when you don't talk about Alabama, that's when the team is truly known to strike at you. Yeah. So in terms of the Tide here, do you see this defense getting better, improving, and being able to win the championship?
Yeah, I do. And like I said, I honestly do, man. We haven't been playing, I guess up to par. We had some mistakes there, and but I honestly I see improvement, and like I said, and I talked to you in the past before about this. I mean, Pete Golden was our defensive coordinator last year when we went 15-0, played the hardest schedule in the history of Alabama, playing an all-SEC schedule, go undefeated, go wire to wire undefeated. And, he was the same guy last year. And so, I'm not as panicked as far as getting stuff fixed out on defense. You still have Nick Saban there, which is a defensive guru. He's going to get stuff fixed out. He's going to get stuff figured out. You got a bunch of young guys on defense. We do, and they're going to make those things. But I'm not really worried about that. I'm really not. I'm not as worried, and I'm not as frazzled and panicked as a lot of folks are about the defense side of the ball. My concern has always been is the offensive side of the ball. It's just even with the hire of Coach Bill O'Brien. Not saying he's not a good football coach. He's a dang good football coach. I just think that what Alabama has had recently, a wide open spread team, creative offensive minds. Guys that can open it up, score a lot of different points, and just I think that we kind of went away from that, and so that I think that puts a different type of pressure on your defense to play differently, which we didn't have to do in the past. When we went with the likes of Steve Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin and all those guys that those offensive gurus.
Absolutely. So last quick one here on our end, Rudy. We got Rudy Griffin here on the show, former Alabama defensive lineman. To be able to get back into high school coaching, my man, and to win over there in the state of Georgia, how big was that? How gratifying was that? What was the emotion and the energy looking at your guys, looking at your kids, your players, being able to win over there in Georgia like that?
Oh, man, it was a big statement for us, man. We've talked about it all week, man. Just kind of putting our nose to the ground and kind of fighting through it, and winning that region championship over here in the state of Georgia. And man, it was something that we've kind of one of our 3-part goals that our head coach talks about over here, man. 3-part goals, man, that we wanted to get, and that's the first kind of the step to that ladder, I guess, is winning that region championship. But that was a huge win for our guys, man. It was a monumental because our team over here is young. We got a young football team, man. So to do that with having such a young football team was great, man.